I want to address an unusual, for at least this venue, this YouTube channel, an unusual topic, and one that maybe may or may not be approved of by some who would watch it. But in my personal devotion time yesterday, I read a passage of scripture. It's actually in the book of Isaiah, an Old Testament book of Isaiah, chapter 31. And where God says to the children of Israel through the prophet Isaiah, he warns the Israel, the Jews, about going to Egypt for help. And if you get the picture of what's going on, here's a situation that now it's all happening through prophecy. It's still decades away from actually taking place, but Isaiah. God is trying to prepare Israel through prophecy for the day when this will happen. So what is going to happen through prophetic or through Isaiah's prophecies? He walks them through a scenario where they will first be threatened by the king of Assyria, by the nation of Assyria, and then later by the Babylonians. And we know from history what happened is that the northern nation of Israel was actually destroyed by Assyria and completely decimated and taken out of the land and for all practical purposes annihilated. And then Assyria turned their attention on to the southern kingdom of Israel, Judah, and to the city of Jerusalem. And before Assyria could actually conquer Jerusalem, before that ever took place, the Babylonians conquered Assyria, and it fell to the Babylonians to be the ones that actually did the deed in Jerusalem and wiped them out. And so Isaiah prophesying so he's looking at future in a present tense, and he says, woe to those who will go to Egypt for help. Because so here's what's going to happen is when this thing comes into real time, Assyria's northern kingdom is gone, Assyria's gone, now the Babylonians come on into play, and the Jews choose to go to Egypt and seek help from the nation of Egypt. And the interesting thing about that is Egypt, the Jews knew only too well that Egypt was not really their friends. We kind of, as Christians, we sometimes look at Egypt and we say that's a type of the world. But Egypt was not friends to the Jews. But here they are, they're looking at it and they're saying, well, from the north and east, they've got this really, really terrible enemy, Babylon, and they wiped out the northern kingdom. They're going to come and they're going to wipe us out. They're going to, and we know what happened is they were actually, when they conquered them, they took them captive out of their land, destroyed the temple, all that. And so the Jews, almost, if you could, we could look at it and there's the devil. Babylon is the devil, and that's Satan. That's the total destruction of everything that we hold dear and believe. And the southern, to our south is Egypt, and that's the world. And yeah, we don't like it. It's not the best. It's not our preference, but it seems like the better of the two evils, the better of the two. And God says no, and so they feel like they have no choice. They have to choose to go to Egypt for help. And God says, woe to you if you do that. Because really, the fact of the matter is they didn't need Egypt for help. They needed God for help. I was looking at that and I was thinking that's kind of where I think we are in this current election cycle for the president. We've got on the one hand a candidate that some would style to be like the devil. She doesn't believe hardly anything that we as Christians believe. She's gonna, at least if she is good to her word and anything like what we believe, she'll be like. She will turn Christian ideals upside down on their feet. In fact, I heard recently that she said, well, Christians are just going to have to change. And we see her, man, that's the devil. And on the other side, we've got a candidate who is, he's worldly. He is the epitome of what worldliness would be. He's proud and arrogant and outspoken, self-centered, all of those kinds of things. But so many people are saying, well, we don't have a choice. He may not be our preference. He might not have been the one we wished we could vote for, but he certainly is better than the other candidate, and we've got to do everything we can to keep the other candidate out of office. And so we're going to have to appeal to him for help. And I just want to say, I don't know that we do have to appeal to him for help. I don't think we do. I think we need to appeal to God. You know, Republicans, Democrats, politics has never been our strength. It's never been where we were going to get our strength. Our strength is in God. And God says, woe to those who go to Egypt. Woe to those who find their strength in worldliness, in the power of this world. Does that mean that a person shouldn't vote for one of these two candidates, or and especially, you know, the worldly one instead of the evil one? Does that what I mean? Well, I don't mean to say that you can't be a Christian and vote for him. I'm just saying that whatever choice that you make, I've met lots of Christians now who are just saying, well, I'm gonna write in a name. I'm not gonna vote for either one of these people. And I don't believe it's unchristian to vote for him. Might be to vote for her, but it's not unchristian to vote for him. But it would be unchristian to trust in him, I think. Our trust ought to be in the Lord.